Welcome back to Feline Lucky, the Money Cat podcast. Today I want to talk about OnlyFans. So I decided to get Tye Arnett back in for reasons that will become clear shortly. Hello, Tye.
What's up, buddy?
Let's chat about why you're the best person to talk to about this.
Let's talk about it. Okay, so a bit of background on me, kind of recent background. So I spent the better part of 7-8 years traveling the world as a business coach. Business is my life, regardless of what my businesses were. It was always business first. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's a passion. And so when I see new models, disruptive models like OnlyFans come out, I get excited. And then more specifically, I'm a photographer. My main clientele are, fitness and glamour shoots for young women, and amongst that is a lot of Instagram models and OnlyFans girls as well. So I'm exposed on a pretty much daily basis to OnlyFans, and I should say, very importantly, I've actually never used OnlyFans, so I have this really kind of unique view where all I see is the behind the scenes. All I see is from the creators themselves. So if anyone out there listening uses OnlyFans and their experience varies, I apologize. I'm only really seeing this from one side, but that's where I'm at.
All right, I am definitely on the other side.
Love it.
So what the reason I wanted to chat about with you, and we've spoken about it a bit before, is it's a new business model we've seen, and I think a lot of people are sort of missing it and missing the size of what's happening. So a short background, OnlyFans is now valued at over $1 billion. It has somewhere in the realm of, I think, 40 or 50 million users on board the platform. Some creators are making upwards of $10,000 a month, and they're people who I know of within our community. So people often go like, hey, but isn't it just porn? So let's chat about, is OnlyFans just porn?
So, firstly, porn's it's a tricky topic because it's different things to different people. You know, if someone showing their ass without actually showing any genitalia, that's porn to a lot of people, right? What OnlyFans is a way to break down the gatekeepers between a creator and their fans, right? And I use fans as a very, very loose term.
Subscribers, followers.
Subscribers, yeah. The most common story that I get, that I hear from a lot of these girls is, you know what, my DMs were blowing up every day from people, trying to hit on me, sending dick pics, whatever, which I'm not sure whoever thinks that ever works.
Highly effective.
There's one guy who's actually that's worked for, and he's spread misinformation. And so their idea is, look, if I'm getting that, I may as well get paid for it. So to be clear, people confuse OnlyFans as a pornography channel. If people were going there just for pornography, they would just go to, I don't know, pornography, right? It's free. And I can tell you not just the majority of OnlyFans girls, but the successful OnlyFans girls are not doing what you would call pornography, right? They're not, just to keep it polite, they're not necessarily doing sexual acts, right? A lot of them are, but the standouts usually aren't, right? They're doing something sexual as defined by their followers, but what their followers are paying for is access and connection, right? Yep. Which, I don't want to present OnlyFans as nothing but a positive thing. There's a darker side to it. There's people who, a lot of these girls, they have followers who obsess over them, and that's what the followers are paying for, is access to them. But as a business model, I found it super interesting. And then seeing the people who are making the money, the people who are making, I would call $10,000 a month a starting point. That's a successful creator, not a standout creator. A standout would be Corinna Kopf, who made $2 million in 48 hours, her first 48 hours. But the people who, so anyway, without going on a ramble, that's how I see OnlyFans. It's a paid connection.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting for a few reasons. And I think the better way to think about it is something akin to a strip club or a hostess club in Japan, where what people are paying for is the connection or experience. Because you're right, like if you are a hot girl on Instagram You are just getting DMs and dick pics just constantly. And what this is it's like monetizing a connection. So when I think about how do these girls make 10 grand a month when the base subscription is $15? That implies a lot of people subscribing, which can be the case, but also is not necessarily the case. So you have to imagine the OnlyFans business model as like going to a strip club. And let's all stop pretending no one's ever been to a strip club. Let's just stop bullshitting and just go through it. So you go in, you got to pay a cover charge, right? Let's say it's $20.
Yep.
That's your subscription fee.
Yep.
That gets you in the door of the OnlyFans creators experience. Then there's some degree of content available once you subscribe. Much again, like a strip club, there's people dancing on the stage.
Just enough to make you want more, by the way.
Exactly. So imagine this is just a giant sales funnel. Again, much like a strip club. Yep. So then if you want to either see extra content or an extra video or speak to them or have them send you a letter or you phone call them or anything like that, they are extra fees on top. Yes. And that is where the value is.
That's where they make money.
So don't think at $10 a month, there's 1,000 subscribers to this one chick.
Yep.
It's not. It's that her high ticket people are paying her $500 or $600 or $700 in a month period.
So a good example of that is, and one of my favorites, again, with any disruptive industry like this, I love seeing the innovation, right? I love seeing how are people going to leverage this. So it's become a really normal thing now. A lot of girls do this, but I remember maybe 6 to 8 months ago was the first time I heard of it. Again, these girls are getting dick pics on Instagram. You better believe that they're getting the same thing on OnlyFans. So now a lot of the girls are doing dick reviews, right? Which I think is the best thing in the world for so many reasons. So two things that are interesting about that. Number one, a lot of these girls have talked about getting multiple review purchases from same guys weekly for multiple weeks on end, right? I don't know how much these guys' dicks change during the week.
Is it seasonal?
Yeah, exactly. But again, that just comes back to what people are paying for. They're not paying for a dick review. They got that on Monday. It's Wednesday. They're paying for connection. They're paying for validation. They're paying for what we don't get now. Is this, a sign of some deeper ill within our society? Probably, but we're knuckleheads. We're not going to fix that today, so let's just talk about the money. The other part is if this is an OnlyFans creator with any even mildly sizable following, I hate to tell you, fellas, she's not the one replying to you. Yeah. Not only is she not the one reviewing your dick, she's not the one replying to your messages. And you might not like that, but for me, as a fan of business, I love the way that they're managing this. That they've got, at the low level, it might just be their boyfriend or a friend that's dealing with this. Almost always, you're talking to a guy as a general rule.
I am one of our mutual acquaintances who is quite big in the adult community. We were playing PlayStation one night, and she was on there, and a bunch of other people were on there. And she's like, "Oh, hang on, my husband's just replying to a bunch of OnlyFans messages for me."
Yeah, and then the next level up from that is the manager, which is almost always a male as well. And he, at any given time, is logged into 50 different accounts, and is, I'm sure they have a rough time sleeping at night. But
I want to take a step aside. We, as men, as a group, need to discuss dick pics because. I've personally never had the inclination to send an unsolicited dick pic.
Hand on my heart, never sent one.
But
I've also been with my wife for 20 years, so I don't know who I'm sending them. My doctor, maybe. Does this look normal, doc?
Yeah. But why are we doing it, guys? The male form there isn't aesthetically pleasing. Yep. No one wants to see it. Yep. It's utilitarian.
I'm a photographer. I wouldn't know how to photograph it to look nice.
No.
I could dramatically light it. Maybe use some colored gels on the background to draw attention. I don't know what you're doing.
So just moving the conversation back, stop sending unsolicited pics unless you're paying for them.
Yeah, if you're paying for them, then go for it and let her boyfriend tell you that it looks great.
Yeah.
So that's interesting is finding all these little ways that they're getting the add-ons and live chat and all this kind of stuff as well. Again, what people are paying for is connection, right? The other side to it is if we look at, and again, this is only anecdotal. I'm not an expert. I don't sit there and pour through the data. But I've worked with enough of these girls and talked to them about their own OnlyFans accounts and their friends. And, a lot of them do get together in groups, which is good. The ones who are making the most money aren't the ones who are doing the most sexual stuff. Just like in business, they're the ones who find niches, right? So I'm trying to remember the exact figures, but I know that there's a girl in Brisbane. All she does is farts, either in underwear or yoga pants, never nude, never shows her face. That's all she does. And maybe a year ago, she was doing over 10,000, $12,000 plus dollars. Melbourne, I think it was, girl in Melbourne, all she does, similar thing, never shows her face, doesn't use her real name, which for anyone out there thinking about doing this, please don't use your real name, for fuck's sake. You've got a future, look after it. When your daughter, Googles you, it's going to be an interesting discussion. But all she does is treads on food.
Yeah, right.
That's it. And then obviously, there's a million girls out there doing foot fetish stuff, and a lot of the girls I work with are in the bodybuilding industry, so they'll do, they'll do arm wrestling videos and all this kind of stuff. So the point is yes, it's a disruptive industry, but a lot of the same rules apply. Niches. You get into the last podcast we did, we talked about how low barrier to entry leads to saturation, right? The sexualized stuff, or even just the what I call Instagram plus, the stuff that you can't put on Instagram, but it's not porn, but it's somewhere in the middle there. That's saturated, unless you're a personality that people just want to see do that, like a celebrity or something like that. It's probably not going to sell. And the result is you're going to have a bunch of your naked images out there that are going to live forever, because if it's on the internet, it's forever. And if you've used your real name, then that's it. That's the first thing your future employers are going to find. And I want to be clear. I think both of us are very pro OnlyFans. I think there's no higher form of feminist activity than making money off dumb fucking guys.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, fellas, if you're paying for this. Little bit of judgment there, maybe. But yeah, I think it's great, but do it smart.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to roll into as well, is thinking about like how to do this in a smart way.
Yeah.
Because it's a tough thing to discuss from a business angle too, because you're combining such an intimate form of a person with a commercial activity. So I'm trying to be delicate when I'm discussing it, in that I've noticed a lot of creators who, like, people come on the journey with the creator because they want the journey and the experience and the excitement. Right. So I've seen anecdotally, creators who give it all away straight away don't have anything more to give away in terms of their story or interesting things. Yep. It's the successful creators are the ones who have these boundaries in place. And there's nearly an element of like, what happened today? Yeah. Which keeps people excited. And that it's a really interesting piece of psychology around how brains operate like that and how people keep coming back. But you got a comment on that?
Yeah, it's also just speaks to the simplicity of the male mind.
Yeah.
I really like this girl. I've got a bit of a thing for her, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'll pay $30 a month to see her nude. We see a nude. You do what a guy does after he sees a nude pretty lady, and then you go, well, I've seen that now.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe. What else am I going to do? So yeah, absolutely. It's not only do you not have to show everything, but after you show everything, you've got nothing left to show. You've got no reason on a subscription. It's all about coming back. They're not locked in. So why would I pay next month if I saw everything this month? So strategically, not only do I think you don't need to overexpose yourself, but I think it's actually a poor choice strategically.
Yeah. What I really love about the OnlyFans business model as well is they've taken a product from a once-off, because selling content isn't a new thing. It's been around for years, pre-OnlyFans, people that have a Dropbox, Patreon. But they've made a monthly reoccurring revenue stream, which if you look at the most successful businesses now, they use monthly reoccurring revenue. Everything's a subscription. Xero's a subscription. Netflix is a subscription. They've made their social media following and their experience a subscription. And I think that's where we're probably heading in terms of the future of content.
Yes. I agree 100%. You know, there's a lot of people that I sign up to things like Patreon or YouTube Premium, creators that I really enjoy, especially in the photo and video space. I have no problem in the world paying them $6 a month. You know, if you added up all of those $6 a month, it's a big deal. You know, it's not a small chunk. But yeah, being a creator who can come back every single month and create new content and without also, you got to be really careful. And I won't get into specifics, but in this world, these girls also have to be careful with, if you go, hey, what I do is sexual acts, and I need people to stick around next month. Well, what are you doing next month? Yeah. You know, there's girls that I've seen put themselves at risk, just to keep followers. You know, it's probably not worth it. But to anyone who's listening who doesn't understand it, doesn't get it, you know, thinks, oh, this is just a bunch of creepy guys, lonely guys who are looking for connection, blah, blah, blah. Sure, I'm not going to argue with you on some of that. But what I would ask is, what are you into, right? Sports, you know, is it football? Is it soccer? Is it MMA? Let's take, you know, a mutual interest of ours, MMA, right? If your favorite fighter started a channel, we won't even call it Onlyfans. It's something different, right? But it's the same idea, and you had access to them, right? They win a fight, and you know that you can message Dustin Poirier directly and be like, bro, killer performance. And he writes back and goes, yeah, man, that was rough. And you now have that access, because that's all you're really paying for is access. We would all do it. That's amazing. For $15 a month, every day of the week. So that's what we're paying for, is connection and access to people that we in some way idealize. It's just in OnlyFans, it's specifically a sexual way. And to be clear, if you go to OnlyFans website or their Instagram, they're trying to be that non-sexual thing. They actually they realize that they fucked up, and that OnlyFans, like, even I can't remember the last time I saw a girl on Instagram with an OnlyFans who put the OnlyFans link in their bio. Yeah. They will hide it behind a link tree. Yeah.
You can't now because it demonetizes, or it pushes down.
Right. Yeah. But even just on the optics of it, don't look good, because people go, oh, OnlyFans. Yeah. You know.
I think as well, just with that, it's the way this comes back to like a previous video I did about how the media environment now and people not paying for news has sort of got us where we are.
Right.
If you want to consume information from someone regularly and you like what they do, supporting them through a Patreon or something like that is a mechanism by which they can keep providing you with this content.
Yes. And
the cost is low to you, because it's $5 a month, $6 a month. Like, you know, is that a huge deal? It's a coffee.
Yeah.
But if they have, you know, 100 or 1,000 people who are into what they're doing, following them, they now have an income stream where they can keep doing this. So this to me leads into a wider conversation about the future of content and the future of social media. I think it's going to be small micro tribes of people supported by a group of small financial backers like this. You probably pay $5 a month to your 4 favorite people who do various hobbies, and that's how you support them.
100%. And I've been on both sides, and I think it's why I'm so quick to. My wife doesn't pay anyone for anything in this side of things, right? She doesn't see the value in it. It's not her world. I've been the content creator, and I am the content consumer. So when someone, when a podcast says, hey, it's going to be, $8 a month, I'm like, yeah, of course it is, because that one lens that if you guys are watching instead of listening, just the lens that we're using right now is a $5,000 lens. Yeah, of course I want $8. Like all of this little shit adds up. And then the general rule with good content, not just with slapdash mobile phone stuff, but if it's produced decent on YouTube as an example, the general rule is for every minute you're talking between an hour and a half to 2 hours of production time. So you're watching, Casey Neistat's 20-minute video. That's you got to pay for it somewhere. Yeah.
And your choices there are, you either want it for free, in which case the content being produced has to be influenced by who will give you money.
Right.
And then you end up with, in some cases, your content has to be biased, or you can't produce the stuff that's really interesting if it's niche because not enough ads won't pay for it.
Well, if you don't want to pay for it, you're going to get a homogenized version, right? So, if let's say I'm a vlogger or a podcaster or something like that, if I know that I'm getting paid by the people who are listening, right, the Patreon style, I know I can swear. I know I can bring up political issues. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to. If I am relying solely on, Google AdSense, I have to homogenize it. I have to dumb it down. I have to be really careful. Like, oh, better not talk about that subject. That'll get me demonetized for today. I love it, man. I think it's regardless of whether we're talking a YouTube podcaster or a used to be famous person on Cameo or your local Instagram model on OnlyFans. You're taking all of those people who would have taken their 10%, 5%, 10%, 5% until the money that you would have paid finally gets to the creator and it's fuck all. You're sending that straight to the creator. It's a beautiful thing, and I think the more people embrace it, the better.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think I have this slightly wild theory that
we should do an OnlyFans.
That's not a wild theory.
The bear and the cat.
Fuck. Dear me. Anyway, I gotta get Dutch on this podcast. He's the king of things like that. No, that my theory is that there's gonna be this singularity at some point in the not too distant future where everyone's nudes are somehow available online.
Right.
Like we're approaching this point, particularly with the next generation of people. And for people probably my age and older, that's like pretty foreign and confronting. But I think we're sort of going to reach a point where it's inevitable with the amount of video and photo in our lives. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And so to me, having an ability to control the way that's released, I think maybe like OnlyFans would be right to put some sort of like blockchain thing on content in the future. Yeah. I just think that's where we're going.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never really considered the nudity thing. Again, I'm the wrong person. I'm too old and I've been in a relationship too long. Like I said, I've never taken a dick pic and
it's truly a
don't know how many nudes I've received, but it's not a glamorous number. But I think all of us will have what we are vulnerable about in public, right? Like privacy is a myth. You talk to anyone in network security or any of the. We can do our best to stop people stealing our information, but if they really want it, they're going to get it eventually. So I think if you have people who want to connect with you, and you can do it in a safe way, I think it's a great idea to do that. I would say find the right. Let's get specific. Any girls out there thinking about OnlyFans, find someone who can mentor you through it.
Yes.
Find someone who can teach you how to do it safely. Niche and niche and niche and niche. And if you can find a niche where you don't have to show your face or any identifying marks like tattoos, go for that as well. Look, I did things in my 20s that I thought I will never regret this. And by my late 20s, I was, could barely sleep because I was so ashamed. Just because you don't regret it now doesn't mean you won't in the future. But more importantly, business Tye speaking, you're not making money just by showing your bits and pieces. You're making your money by finding a niche and leaving them wanting more.
Yeah, and that's a really good segue into sort of a final point on this. If you're going to go down the content creation OnlyFans path, you're building a business creating content. That's what you're doing. So I think don't be under the illusion that if you're going to start an OnlyFans, you just go, hey, I've got an OnlyFans, and you get 100 subscribers.
It's not easy money.
It is constant building and presence, much like building a social media profile or a business. Yep. So you have to be networking with people, posting, collaborating. Yep. And I'll like casually observe people I know and follow, post up a link tree, and I'm like, here we go. And then 2 weeks later, it comes down.
Yep.
And sometimes they've just been like, oh shit, this isn't for me. Other times they've hit that grind. Yep. So I think realize this is a business and run it like a business.
None of the girls, and again, it's a significant number, none of the girls that I've talked to, or guys, I only know 2 guys who've done it, but they're both doing well. None of them are living on easy street in terms of the work. They grind, metaphorically and occasionally physically. whether it's signing up for OnlyFans or this amazing new crypto that you've just heard about, there's no such thing as easy money. There's no such thing as free money. You're going to have to fucking pay somewhere. You're going to have to work somewhere. If this is down your alley, you enjoy creating content, and you can, that would be the other thing actually, is only start an OnlyFans if you enjoy what you're doing. You know, if you enjoy, I don't know, fucking treading on food, then start an OnlyFans for that. But yeah, you don't want to end up backed into a corner where you're making $10,000 off a month off something that you don't enjoy, that you feel shameful about. And then, you know, what choice do you have? You stop making 10 grand a month. That's a hard choice to make.
Yeah, and you see that in the adult industry a lot, where people get very used to the income.
And by the way, that's been a really huge thing, is when OnlyFans came out, a lot of adult performers were not at all fucking happy, because a lot of them couldn't create an OnlyFans. You know, they had exclusivity deals with certain labels, and they weren't stoked. Now a lot of them have either written out those deals, those contracts, and gone OnlyFans. And again, it's this beautiful thing of, I don't care whether it's Patreon, Cameo, OnlyFans, you know, Mighty Networks, whatever it is, if you can remove the gatekeepers and find a way for your people who care about what you care about to interact directly with you and pay you for that, that's a beautiful thing. Welcome to 2021. It's a shit fight, but there's little glimmers of hope in there.
Yeah, and I think overall there's so much information is now ubiquitous, and so people are looking for connection and different information. Like, there's no reason why you can Google literally anything and get the answer, but that's not what people are looking for.
Right.
Like, I watch videos on YouTube about stuff I don't even care about because I really like the dude taking the video, or the chick taking the video.
Yep.
And I'm invested in their journey and there's a guy in what is he in? Uzbekistan? No, Uzbekistan. And all he does is make food that Genghis Khan used to make in the woods. Love it. I don't know what he's doing, but I love it.
Yeah.
Every day I watch him.
I pay for I think it's YouTube Premium, YouTube Plus. Anyway, I pay something to a kid called Alex Steele on YouTube, who he's a blacksmith and makes knives. I have no interest in making knives. I don't like to get my hands dirty. I'm the least handy person ever. I'm an absolute bitch when it comes to that stuff. But I love his videos, and I don't need to pay. I don't really get anything extra by paying, but I appreciate the effort he puts in so much that, you know, whatever, $4 or something like that a month. Cool, of course, you know. And again, yeah, that's where we're at. If you can carve out a niche for yourself, whether it's, you know, showing TNA or whether it's just connecting with people, and you have something, you know, and OnlyFans, but for intellectuals, I'd be down for that. You know, let me pay to have access to some of the smartest people in the world who I can message, you know, at a pub quiz, you know, duck into the toilet and send them a quick message.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting concept, and I think it's going to change a lot over the next couple of years. But I just don't think conceptually this model's going away. So once again, thanks for the chat, Tye. Where do we find you on the internet?
Love it. Tye Arnett Photo, TyeArnett Photo. Yeah, on Instagram.
Awesome. See you later.
Appreciate you.
Done.